my bag of ryegrass seed here.
Yo, welcome back to another Bee Ghetto video. It is Sunday today. Yesterday was my first ever day off since being here, like first full day off. So we saw in the last video, I just went and watched Deadpool, which was good. And then I ended up actually going out last night as well with a couple of the boys. And I left at like 12:30, but the trains, I got on one train that was meant to go to one place, and then halfway through they were like, no, we're going on the different route because the other one cancelled. I was like, I don't know if you can just change routes. So I ended up on the other side of the city. Anyway, I'm here now. First order of business, before we get right into this video, is this is how many subscribers I'm on. I'm working hard to get 10,000. I'm grinding. I'm putting in the work. I'm pumping out 2 big videos per week. If you guys are watching them and you guys enjoy them, please consider hit subscribing. It is free. And once we get to that 10K mark, I'm going to be doing some sort of giveaway. So stay tuned for that. But we got to get there first. The reason I've come in today on a Sunday is because they played a match out here yesterday, like a social sort of older guys match, I think. I don't know really how to describe the league or the division that it is, but there's also some women's training on the practice nets here, so got to give those a cut and a roll, set those up. Also want to start preparing the next 2 strips for training, not this week, next week. We've got a lot of training this week with like the club training, the Dutch training, the women's training, and then in the coming 2 weeks we've obviously got the women's ODIs and T20 series, so it's going to be a busy next couple of weeks, so stay tuned for all that. So I'm going to go out there on the middle as well after I do the practice wickets, go out in the middle, repair all the footholes that are there on the whole table, just give the ones that aren't really repairing that well, I'm going to just top those up a little bit with some new seed and some loam, get a good water in them, give the 2 pitches that are for the ODIs and T20s a cut and a deep water, because it's going to be hot today, tomorrow and Tuesday, so deep water on all that, fix up the pitch that was used yesterday as well, and hopefully that is it. But first things first, got to get a cut on this and this, maybe give them a light roll and then remark the creases, and then start prep on the next 2 pitches, which I believe I'm going to use this one and the one in between those 2. Okay, I've string lined out these 2 new strips for the prackies, so this one here and this one just here. I've string lined. Going to give it a cut with that mower over there at 14mm first, and then I'm going to cut the rest of the table, and then I'm going to cut these 2 new ones at 7, just drop them right down to 7. Don't have a lot of time to prepare over the next week for these strips, so I want to get onto them straight away. Give these 2 other ones cut at 7, get the nets up, repaint the lines, probably do the lines first, get the nets up for the women's training, and then I can get out there. There's some sort of marathon practice out here as well, so hopefully they don't run across the wicket table. Surely they're not that silly. Okay, got them all cut. 7, 7, 7, 7. This is obviously one of the new strips. This one they'll be using today. They might actually be able to get on these ones later this week because they're actually pretty firm. I'll just keep cutting and rolling them every day. This one's slightly greener than the other one. Not really sure why, but this one's a little bit softer as well. Still firm though. I've finished setting up the practice wickets, as you clearly just saw. So now I've come out to the middle. This is the wicket they used yesterday. They did little to no damage, which is good because this has to be used again this coming weekend. It's perfect. It's even got a little bit of a green tinge to it. So right now, got the mower. Going to give this pitch, which is going to be probably the T20 pitch, give that a cut at 14mm. Give this other one, which is the ODI pitch, a cut at 14mm just to keep it down. I'm not going to touch the rest of the wicket table at all, probably for another week, maybe even longer. I'm just going to let it recover. So what else I'm going to do today is just bring out a couple of bags of loam, just top up all of these areas, just a light little top up with some fresh seed as well. Run some fertilizer across the entire wicket table, water it in. These spots here, they're probably not even bad enough to worry about topping up before the game. I don't know, it's tough because I think the Dutch team want to train out here on Wednesday and they do a lot of damage to it. And then I've only got a couple of days to get it sorted. we'll see what happens. But today, I don't think I'll bother fixing these up before they train on it on Wednesday, because it'll just burst out anyway, so I might as well leave it for now. And then if they don't end up training out here, I will fix them up before the playoff match on Saturday. But first things first, give this one a mow, give that one a mow, and then get to work on all of that. Okay, so I just got some great news. I texted one of the guys and said, how many pitches do they need for today's training and Monday? Because I was told yesterday they just want one lane. And the guy replied and he's like, no, they're using the indoor today and tomorrow. So I've been out here preparing this and they're only using the indoor nets. So that's perfect. I might actually just get a water on these then instead, so they get a good water before I start really hammering them with the roller. So that means that they're not training out here, which is great. So I'll go out to the middle now and start working on those wickets out there. And yeah. Finished giving this wicket a cut at 14 and that wicket a cut at 14. Gonna just quickly sweep these areas just here before I fill up this with the seed and the loam. There's not heaps, but sweep it up just to clean it, make it a bit more tidy. I'm not going to give this a mow or anything like that. I'm going to get the water out here. As soon as I finish fertilising that section of the wicket table, I'll probably, I'll probably hand water these 3 pitches just to get a lot of water back into it. And then I'll set the sprinkler up on those and they can cover this bit as well. I've got my bag of ryegrass seed here. And I have the mini topper filled up with some loam. I'm not going to need a lot of it, so there's only one bag in there instead of me dumping it on and spreading it around with the level lawn. I do have the level lawn, obviously, to just level it out. So first thing, I'll chuck some seed over all of these little spots here that you can see behind me, down both ends, run some loam over it, level it, and then I'm going to use the pre-seed fertilizer across both ends, down the foothold marks, and then I'm going to run just some regular top-up fertilizer, like some slow-release granular fertilizer, over the rest of the table, and then get a good water on it. Now, I don't have a seed spreader, so just going to feed the chooks, you know, just a little feeding of the chickens. Bok, 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 or how they say it over here, chicken is kip. And I asked why they call it a kip, and they say because kip, 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 kip. But I don't know if that's actually true or they were just trolling me to make me sound dumb. But you get the point. Chicken is kip. And that's basically the only Dutch word that I know, because most people speak English, so I haven't really had to learn any. But kip, I learned on my first day. As you see behind me, I've got the germination sheets out. They're a little bit different to the germination sheets we use in Australia, like the proper ones. This is basically just like a shade cloth that you could buy at a hardware store, which still works. Maybe it doesn't work as well, but it definitely still works. I have used these in the past. So, got this one here across the entire, well, not the entire table, because obviously got these pitches I need to work on, but the areas that I topped up, you saw me seed it, top it up, fertilize it. I put the mats over there, covering both ends. The black ones over there will probably work better. The reason behind the germination sheets and what makes them a germination sheet, I guess, it obviously protects the seed from birds and people running on it and whatnot. But it also, the idea is that it absorbs the sun and it keeps the area underneath warm, which it's warm anyway, but it'll keep it warm, and it also keeps the moisture contained a little bit better because it doesn't have the direct sunlight on it drying up the moisture. So got the sprinkler out here watering this whole area first, this quarter. I'll leave each one on for about half an hour per quarter, and then I'll take it off. And then tomorrow when I come back in, I'll hand water this pitch, this pitch, this pitch, and maybe this one as well. And I'll put this just over these sections to get a lot of water back in this. I want to flood these areas to really give the seed the best chance of growing. Now with ryegrass seed, if you just seed on nothing, or like a little bit of a top dressing, it usually takes 7 to 10 days until you start seeing a little bit of seed pop up in the perfect conditions. Now, with the germination sheets, I don't know the exact percentage, but it'll typically take about 2 or 3 days off that 7 to 10. So it'll go to like 4 to 7 days, you'll start seeing results, and it'll thicken up quicker. So if I can leave this on from today, which is Sunday, until Friday before the match on Saturday, there should be some new growth coming up through it. They'll have the match here on Saturday on that pitch. I don't know if I might be able to put them back out here, because like for a few days before the women's are on this on the Thursday. So I might get an extra couple of days to thicken it up. But I'm not going to mow any of this side of the wicket table at all for the next week or so, just to give it its best chance of the fertilizer just really kicking in and the seed kicking in. And then once the seed does kick in, I'll probably still avoid mowing those areas, and I might just cut that way so I can actually avoid it properly. Yeah, it's actually quite warm today. It's only like 23 degrees, but like it feels hot. I don't know how to describe the heat, but I feel like a 23 degrees in Australia is very different to a 23 degrees in Europe. There's also no wind at all. It's like a pretty good day. A couple of clouds, but that's not too bad. So like I said, I'll leave these ones, leave this on for another, it's been on for like 10 minutes, so I'll leave it on for another 20, move it down there, move it here, move it there, really get this fertilizer and the seed watered in. And in the meantime, I'll go over to the practice wickets and I might just mow the grass around the practice wicket structure to clean that up a little bit. But overall, the table is looking pretty good. It's striped up still from, what, Friday or Thursday, whenever I did it last. So that'll hold the stripe. To be fair, it probably didn't need a fertilizer, like these areas did, but the rest of the table probably didn't. I think the guy that was here previously put out a slow release fertilizer, would have been 6 weeks ago. I think when I got here, I've been here for 4 weeks, and he said that it had been out 2 weeks earlier, I believe. So it's been 6 weeks since that, and it lasts about 6 to 8 weeks. So top it up now, and that'll get me through August. And then at like mid-September, when everything's finishing up, give it another hit, or I'll just wait till the renovations and then give it a hit then. I've just moved the sprinkler for the 3rd time, so I've done this pocket, that pocket, mowed around the wicket table over there, just cleaned it up. It's good because where it is now, it's given the new pitch for the ODIs a double water, which is good because I want it to have an actual, like I want it to get a really deep water. But unfortunately, this is the only form of water we have, apart from like if I hand water it. So tomorrow I'll give it a nice hand water as well. All right, now I am absolutely starving. I barely had breakfast this morning. I'm really hungry, but it's comment time. There's 3 things I want you guys to comment. You can choose which ones you want to do. Let me know in the comments, are you still enjoying this format of videos? Because like I know that some might get a little bit repetitive doing the same groundwork over and over. Maybe you guys enjoy that stuff, and it is obviously a little bit different every time because different conditions, I'm doing different things, different days. So if you're still enjoying this, let me know, because that's probably what it's going to continue being, and also the little trickles on the outside when I go out or do whatever. Next thing to comment, let me know where you're watching from. I love seeing that shit, so comment down below where you're watching from. It can be your country, your state, your city, whatever you feel comfortable commenting. I like to know, I don't like to know, but like it's cool to see all the different parts around the world where people are watching from. And thirdly, the Be Ghetto Bangers playlist on Spotify. It's got like 550 saves at the moment, so there's a lot of people listening to it. I think it's a pretty well-balanced, good playlist. I've been adding to it for the last 2 or 3 years now, on and off, and now obviously adding multiple songs per YouTube video. So if you want a song added to the playlist, comment the song name. I'm probably going to pick 2 per video, so comment the song name, and I will also, if your song is chosen, I'll give your username on YouTube a shout out as well on the channel. So if you want a shout out and you want your song added, comment that song. Made myself a couple of nice ass sandwiches for lunch. They were good. Now on the second field, going to remove this rope to the outside so the council can mow tomorrow, and then wait until that last patch is irrigated. Still got another 30 minutes, only just put it on there then, and then it's home time, boys. That's me done. Productive day, especially for a Sunday. Coming in on a Sunday. put in like 6 hours. Got everything done that I was planning on doing tomorrow. So tomorrow I can just focus on rolling the wickets and watering the wickets, and getting a good start on those, which will be good. It's meant to be nice weather as well. I think like 26 degrees tomorrow and 28 on Tuesday. And maybe some rain Wednesday or Thursday. Not heaps. The weather's a lot better now, as you can see. I don't have any plans for this afternoon. I'm pretty tired after last night and obviously been here all day, so I'll probably just tap the screen and meet back up with you guys tomorrow. But if anything does change and I do end up doing something, you'll see it in the next clip. But don't hold your breath. Yo, it is Monday. I think I'm getting sick. Like, I got home yesterday after work and I was on the couch and I just fucking hit a wall and I was like, ugh, fuck. Like, sore throat, runny nose, and I was like, maybe it's just hay fever, so I've taken a couple of hay fever tablets. Got a strepsil in now, taking some Panadol and stuff. Just gonna give the 2 new pitches another mow at 14, and then I'm gonna hand water that 4. So I'm gonna take that off, put the hose attachment on, hand water them, give them a nice deep water. And then I'll probably go and hand water the practice wickets. And then I'll bring it back out here and put it on the rest of the wicket table and give this a nice water again today. It's gonna be hot. And I want that fertilizer to really get watered in and the seed to have a chance at growing. To be honest, they got training tomorrow night. So as long as the crackies are ready for training tomorrow night, and then there's a game on Saturday this coming week, but they're using the same pitch that was used on the weekend. So I don't really have heaps to do with that. I'm just going to try and get a bit of juice back into it so it does do a little bit for the bowlers. I'm just going to let it recover, and then I'll probably give it a mow on like Friday and Saturday. But yeah, today's basically just going to be watering, a little bit of mowing, and I might even give the ODI pitch a wet roll. I did that with my first pitch that I did here, and it turned out really good. It doesn't blacken up like the pitches in Australia where you bring up the black moisture from the clay. It just sort of gives it a wet roll and it still looks clean and nice. So I'll probably do that actually. I hand watered these 4 pitches it took me about an hour. So I gave like the 2 new pitches a really long deep water, and the 2 in the middle of the used pitch was just like it was a deep enough water, but not like a flooding. And that one next to it that's not being used at all, just gave it enough of the water just to keep it up. And now I hand watered where the growth mats are as well to get a good amount of water under that and to really wet the soil and the seed. And now I've got the knocker out here just covering this whole area. And the council have decided to come and mow today. So before they get here in about an hour, I got to move all the ropes, the boundary ropes, just get them out of the way so they can cut the field. I think they're going to cut it twice because it is quite long and it's a little bit dewy out here as well. So we'll see how that goes. I finally finished watering this whole table. Just been over there mowing the practice wickets and mowing all the grass around it. The guy from the council has just rocked up. He's mowing the outfield. So hopefully that comes up nicely. This pitch, obviously the ODI wicket, and that one over there, the far one, is the T20. So this one, it ended up getting a good water from the sprinkler sitting out here as well. So I'm going to jump on the roller and give this a wet roll now just to get a little bit of compaction through it. These 2 pitches I'm going to leave. Might even give them another hand water at the end of the day before I go home. But I'm going to set up the sprinkler on the practice wickets first. Let those get a good water. Today, hot. Tomorrow, hot. And they have training tomorrow night on those. But I want to get a good water in it today, so then tomorrow I can just roll. And they'll be fine anyway. They've already been used. But this got a really nice water, so hopefully it starts coming up nicely. Okay, so I've just given this pitch a good 45-minute wet roll. Now you might be thinking, if you're not a turfie or anything like that, you might be thinking, why would you roll it when it's wet? Well, I like to give it a wet roll because it actually compacts the soil down in the base a bit more. Whereas if you were just to wet it and then wait till it dries and then roll and then wet it again and then wait till it dries completely and then roll, realistically you're only compacting the top couple of mil. So I like to do this, get a lot of water down in the base, flatten it out nicely, when it's wet as well, it's more likely to actually flatten out instead of being like a little bit uneven. So that's also what a wet roll sort of helps with, just flattening out the pitch overall. And I think it's how you get a better, more consistent bouncy pitch as well. Now the T20 pitch over here, they're not on that until like after the 4 ODIs are played. So I'm not going to start actually rolling this one until probably later this week. So I'll just keep getting some water into it. This pitch, the one they're using, it's got a nice softness to it, like good tackiness, a bit of a Play-Doh-y sort of thing. But I'm not going to bother rolling this. They're using that on Saturday. It's only Monday today, so still got plenty of time on that, and they've already used it, so it's ready to go. All I need is a couple of rolls. So I just want to focus on getting a little bit of water back into that at the start of this week, especially while it's hot, and just keep working on this pitch here as well. And the council mowing, and that's just cleaning up because it hasn't been mowed in a couple of weeks. Obviously new seed, so you can see it's flicking out a fair bit. And then he's just running over it and cleaning it. And I'm gonna go turn off that sprinkler. The prackies have had enough. And I'll show you a bit of a overhead shot, not an overhead shot, but a shot from up on top of the balcony of how the ground's looking. It's actually striping up really well with the brand new ryegrass seed, so hopefully it looks really nice for the ODIs as well. Wow! Oh my God! Wow! Seriously, a nice little oversow of ryegrass and a fresh cut always looks unbelievable, striping up very nicely. Hopefully it stays this way and looks this good for the ODI series and the T20s. They're only a week away, so surely. Back at it again tomorrow. Tuesday morning, I didn't really show much yesterday after all the other stuff I was doing because it was just a bit of rolling and watering. Thought you don't need to see everything. And then I went home, just chilled, and then me and Damari went for a ride around like the outback sort of places along Amstel River and stuff, which is good. But I'm extremely sick. Like, if this was any other job, I don't really take sick days, but like I don't take a lot. Since COVID, I guess we were told to take more. Like, whenever you're sick, you feel sick, whatever. So any other job, I would probably not come in today. I've got a sore throat, blocked nose, was coughing all night, I was clearing my throat all night, just phlegm. Not ideal at all, but the show goes on. The show goes on! And I have things to do. There's training tonight, so I've got to give these wickets here a roll first. Go out in the middle, give that another water, another roll. Pretty much the same as what I did yesterday. I'm going to set these nets up so they can train. I was going to train tonight, but I'm pretty crook, so I don't think it would be smart of me to train. It's worse at night time and in the mornings. It gets a bit better throughout the day, but yeah, night times and in the morning, not ideal. So I'm going to try and find the right sort of medicine to heal up, some proper cold and flu tablets of sorts. So I haven't showed a whole lot of what I've been doing today because I am so sick. I just thought I don't really want to talk to the camera much. I'll just come in, get my work done. And it's been a lot of what I did yesterday, just rolling, water and a bit of mowing. I've just finished mowing rolling the pitch for the ODI series. The pitch they're going to use on Saturday, I'm just going to go back out there and hand water that and the T20 pitch as well. I gave the ODI pitch a wet roll again today and still watering the rest of the wicket table out there, but I feel shit. This water's basically warm. Far out. Not ideal, boys. Not ideal. Anyway, Bigelow banger time. I'm going to add in, because I watched the new Deadpool movie the other day, Deadpool and Wolverine. Fantastic movie. Fantastic soundtrack. I love a movie that has a good soundtrack, so I'm going to add in 5 of my favourite songs from the Deadpool and Wolverine soundtrack, including this absolute certified Bigado banger. Let's go. It might sound crazy, but it ain't no lie, baby. Bye, 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 bye. So originally I was actually planning on trying to learn that little dance that Deadpool does for the song, but nah, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it, and I don't want to embarrass myself by dancing online for the whole world to see, and for my future wife and children to see. So, not happening. Well, lads, I know it's only Tuesday. I usually film Sunday through to Wednesday, and then like Thursday through to Sunday or Saturday. But I think that's about going to do me for today. This video's already gone for long enough, and I need to clock out, go get some cold and flu tablets and buy a fan for my room and just rest this off, I think. And then we'll come back in tomorrow and we'll start another video then. But as always, thanks for watching.